Hello, good morning. This is Joko Christian, and we are currently in online class of Microsoft Excel. So uh, today we are going to talk about one of the subject in Excel, focusingly on PMT function and rate function. And because this is an online session, I will be streaming uh, and open the chat room for you to participate if you have any questions. So let's get on it. Okay, in the screen, you can see that I have opened the meeting number 10 for students. If you have not opened it, you should open it in your e-learning in meeting number 10. Currently, I'm still waiting for my viewers. Okay, this is the content meeting number 10 that you should be opening. Please wait a moment. I'll ask the more students to join the online session. Very well. Now, while we are waiting for a few more students to join us, I will give some review about the previous sessions. The previous sessions are in-class sessions that The previous session are in-class session that talks about credit card bills and bank interest. So the previous meeting, number 9 meeting, we only talk about how we use the arithmetic logic to create a simple formula in Excel to count how much is your credit card bill with a few example and case studies such as this one. Let's say someone called Joanna used her credit card for $3,500 and the periodic interest rate is about 1.9% each month. Joanna can only pay maximum $500 each month. There are two big questions. How many months does Joanna has to pay her debt? And how much money does Joanna has to pay her debt? Okay, now let me minimize my photo here. I'll just put it here, maybe not, so it's not too obtrusive. Okay. Now, you need to remember that the periodic interest rate is for each month, so we need to count for each month periodic interest rate. If you have the number in years, you need to divide it in 12. If you have, such as this example, already in each month, we'll just put 1.9% in periodic interest rate. And then I create a small table here, nothing too fancy, starting from month 0 and so on. The column of payment, the column of remaining debt, and the column of info. So Joanna has 3,500 debt. I'll put it here. And then on the first month she pays $500. I put it here, and we create a simple formula here to count how much her remaining debt in the end of the month. How to count it? We'll just add the previous remaining debt, which is 3,500 on cell D12, plus with the interest rate. So let me focus it to you. This will be the previous previous, sorry, still having trouble with the sensor. This is the interest. My mouse seems having trouble. Interest. I get it by putting the multiplication of the predict interest rate with the previous month's debt, and then we minus it, we subtract it with C13, which is the payment. This is the payment. This is the payment. Okay. Sorry, I think I need to configure my Wacom a minute. While we're okay, I have 4 concurrent now. For you, just have let's just have join. Please wait a minute. Okay, actually, I already configured it quite sensitive. Okay, so we continue. This formula can then be copied vertically for the next month, and you'll see that the value of the debt is going down, down, and down. Just make, yeah, okay, from 3,000, 2,600, 2,174, and so on. And then we'll have the final month where it goes minus, such as this one. Okay, go minus 207.60. Okay, which means that she will only pay less than $500 that month. How can we find the exact payment? If I put the exact payment here, 207.6, we didn't get the value quite correctly. Okay, so we need to use a feature that calls goal seek, and this is quite easily actually. You can see that I'm clicking the data here, and then check the what if analysis, click goal seek, and then I say I set cell D20, which means the remaining debt to be 0, by changing the cell of C20. You need to have the set cell to be in a formula to use a goal seek, and by changing cell a part of that formula, because if it's not related at all, Excel cannot count it. I'll just click OK here, and you'll see that then Excel counted for it. The last payment should be $292.403. So we have remaining debt of 0. And so to conclude the question, to answer the question, how many months does Joanna pay her debt? She pays her debt in 8 months, because the remaining debt goes to 0 in the 8th month, and the number of interests, how much money does Joanna has to pay her debt, is the sum from the payment of 1st month until the 8th month. This is calculated by using simple formula of sum here, and you can find that she needs to pay $3,792.403, which means it's about $292 plus for the interest. We can count then the interest rate by using this formula, which is the difference between the first debt and the sum of payment divided with the first debt. and you'll find that the interest rate is somewhat big. It's about 8.35% for the whole debt. Okay, now that's for the review. Let's now talk about the real class for today, which is PMT. I will not save this one. Okay. Please open your Excel, and we see that there are 3 worksheets here. The first worksheet is PMT. PMT is a function, built-in function in Excel that you can use to count the monthly payment. Okay, let's see the case study. We have a case. Denise wants to buy a house which is valued $230,000. And the interest rate is 12% annually, and the number of payment is to be made 60 times. The question is how much Denise have to pay monthly. Okay. Now, to answer this, we can use the PMT function. But before we use it, let's break down the elements that needs to be provided for the formula. First, to answer this, we have to have the rate, the interest rate. The interest rate should be per period, which means monthly, or any period of time according to the condition. But in this condition, it's monthly. So if the interest rate is about 12% annually, then you need to divide it with 12, because we want it for each percent. Now, 12% divided by 12 months, which means we have about 1%. Okay, so I type here 1% for monthly. Okay. Now, the number of payments that to be made is about 60 times. It's called n per here. I just put the variable here n per, and in this condition we use the period monthly, so it should be in monthly too. And the third variant is the PV, present value of the loan. The present value of the loan is $230,000. So I put it here, $230,000. Now, we're using the function PMT by using these 3 elements, these 3 variants. The monthly pay is equals PMT D7. D7 is the interest rate, comma, D8. D8 is the number of payment, comma, negative value of present value of the loan, because actually we're borrowing the money, so it's negative value for us, so I put the negative here. The alternative is you can put the negative value right on the cell. Either way, it's still correct. We need a negative value here. Just put that formula and we get the monthly payment for $5,116.22. So this answers the question, how much does Denise have to pay monthly? I expanded a little to include total payment. Total payment here, as you can see, is $306,973 and so on. How do I get it? I just put a simple formula here that multiply the number of payments, 60 months, multiplied with the monthly pay, D11. D11 is the monthly pay multiplied with the number of payments. So totally it's 306 grand something. You can count the difference between the house value of 230,000 and the payment she's made for 306,000. Okay, that's the first example of using the PMT. Now, in your case, then you should try to count the PMT for the second case. The second case is John applied credits to buy a house valued in 510,000. And if the interest rate is 0.8% monthly, the number of payments to be made is 120 times. The question is, how much does John have to pay monthly? Okay, so I'll give it to you now. We'll put the rate here. The rate is 0.8, just like this. This is 1%, so I put the rate 0.8%. And the number of payment is about 120 times. And the present value of the house is 510 grand. So each month, John needs to pay equals PMT, open parenthesis. The rate is from D21. Number of payment is 120 and present value is negative of D23. John have to pay about $6,627 for each month, and the total payment will be equals monthly payment multiplied with the number of payments. Sorry, closing parenthesis there, equals, there you go. So he pays total for 795 grand. That's quite a lot, but yeah, that's how economics work. So I'll pause it currently now, and you can give feedbacks or question. I'm opening the question QA session. You can type directly in the YouTube, or you can type it in our class meeting here. Oh, actually there's only 2 that active in the formal class chat. Hello, if you have question, you can ask here or on the online YouTube chat. Okay. There's few delays, maybe about 20 seconds. Okay, hello Dava, do you have any question? That's for our PMT lesson. Okay, while we're waiting, I will not be idling. I'll just take you to the next worksheet. The next worksheet is the rate function. So I have another case here. Dalton bought a new home theater by credit. The total payment is $1,700. So the logic is a little bit flipped here. The total payment is $1,700, and he paid monthly $150 for 12 months. The question is, how much is the interest rate for each period? The interest rate is in the question. So the function rate is to be used to count the interest rate. First, we need to put few elements here, such as the payment for each month, the number of payments until repaid, and the present value of the loan. Now, the payment each month, I'll put the negative value. We pay $150. Actually, Dalton pay $150 each month, so I put it in negative value here. And the number of payment is 12 months. The present value of the loan is $1,700. So we can count the interest rate by using this function. Equals rate D7. D7 is the number of payments, comma D6. D6 is the payment for each month in negative value. If you put here in positive value, you should put negative value in here. And the present value of the loan as the third and final parameter. After you put it, you can get the interest rate of 0.89% for his home theater. Is it big? Yeah, I guess yes, it's quite big for a 0.89%. You can then count the real value of the home theater. So maybe I'll just put it as addendum here. The real value should be this 0.89% of interest rate. So this will be, sorry, if we count it logically, then the payment of 1,700 includes the 0.89%. So this will be equals divided with minute. The logic should be the interest rate for each month, payment for each month, number of payment. Oh, I'll just calculate this. 100, 0.8%, 89% means we have almost 1% there, and I'll just put 1,000 as still in percentage. 1,700 divided with the interest rate multiplied with 12, something like that. No. This should not be in percentage, should be on general. What is this? D8 divided and then multiplied with oops, I think I used the wrong calculation here. There is multiplied here 0.1, so this should be okay. I have the wrong calculation here. I'll just delete this first. We'll reverse engineer the logic later. Let's just try this second case first. The second case is Maria bought the house by credit for total payment of $430,000. If she paid monthly $9,500 for 60 months, how much is the interest rate for each period? And we are going to fill this yellow spaces. The PMT payment for each month is 400. Sorry, payment for each month is minus 9,500, and then the number of payments is 60 months, and then the present value is 430,000. Yes. Okay, 430,000. So the interest rate should be equals to rate, open parenthesis, number of payments, comma, payment for each month, PMT, and comma, present value. Okay, so this is the interest rate of 0.97%. Okay, then if you have any question, I'm still waiting. No, they're just chatting. Hello, hello. Okay, there you go. Very well. Now, we're going to talk about the third and final worksheet, which is the combined test. This combined test combines with the previous meetings about the credit card bill and about bank saving. So the case is like this. Jennifer is a computer consultant with her salary for each month is $950. Each year she must pay rent for $500. Each month she must pay bills for $95. And for each month she used $250 for food, service, and entertainment. So this is the expenditure, this is the income. Currently she has a credit card debt of $700 with 1.8% interest monthly. I'll just explicitly put this here, monthly, and she pays $100 each month until it's settled. The bank interest is fixed at 3.5% annually, with all the expenses allocated or paid for each starting day of the month. So, how much saving she have on the bank on her third year? Quite a question. How much saving she have on her bank on third year? Let's just put here debt interest. The debt interest is about 1.8% monthly. So I put 1.8% here. The bank interest is 3.5% annually. Annually, we need to put it in year, from the year to monthly terms. So it's 3.5 divided by 12. Oops, sorry. Excel counted like that. Should put percent. 0.29% bank interest monthly. So let's check this first. She have a debt of $700 here without bank saving at all for the month 0. Each month her salary is $950. Each year she must pay for $500. All expenses is on. Okay. So let's just put here house rent should be on. It's not specifically stated here. Let's just pay each month. Each year she must pay rent for $500 in. Let's say maybe June. Yeah, June. Okay. So I'll create a table here consisting of few columns: month, house rent, food and bills, monthly payment, debts, and bank saving. Let's just put here the house rent. The house rent should be 0 here. There's nothing here. Only in June. It's 500 in June. So I'll just copy it here and then 0. You can use the modulus function if you want to count it. Okay. But I'll just use the old-fashioned way. It's for each 6th month. So it will reoccurrence in. Whoops. Sorry. I need to hold control. Okay, it will reoccurrence in the 18th month and the 30th month. Food and bills. The food and bills is For each month, she must pay bills for $95 and $250 for food services and entertainment. We just put it here, then equals 95 plus $250. So it's about $345 for the food and bills. This is static, so I'll just copy it until the 36th month, $345. And the monthly payment now. This is the monthly payment for the monthly payment for her credit card debt. She pays monthly $100 for each month until settled. So I just put 100 here, and I'll copy it. Let's just say from until 33, 34. We need to use goal-seek for that. And now the debt. Okay, now let's count the debt. Equals previous debt plus the previous debt multiplied with the debt interest. I use absolute function here. And then subtract it with the monthly payment. Okay. I just recheck the function. D12 is the debt interest, correct? So in the end of the first month, she'll have about $612 left on her debt, because there's a debt interest 1.8%. Now the bank saving is the previous bank saving plus the previous bank saving multiplied with the bank interest. Okay, and then plus her salary, $950 plus $950, subtract it with her house rent, subtract it with her food and bills, subtract it with her monthly payment for the credit card. See? So this is the previous bank saving, the previous month. This is the bank interest for previous month. This is her monthly salary. This is her house rent. This is her food and bills. And this is her monthly payment of credit card. So she have a bank saving of 505. Now let's copy it vertically. We need to find until, okay, actually her payment for debt is not that long. So here, her debt goes to negative value here. The Excel shows using parentheses for negative value in accounting format. So this is minus 44.87. I'm going to use goal-seek here. I'm going to use goal-seek to change this to 0, because the debt will be 0 from this point onward. But the payment should not be $100 on that month. So I'll just click the cell, select data, what if analysis, and goal-seek. Change cell F24, the month where the debt of credit card becomes negative, to 0 by changing the cell of E24. Okay, click OK. Excel recount it. So the monthly payment in this month is 55. And I'll put the rest to 0. I can delete it, or I just can put it 0, none. There you go. There's no more payment till the end. She did not buy anything again with her credit card. So next, the bank saving will be, ta-da! You can find on her 36th month Our bank saving is $20,519.76. So I hope this helps you to count at least in the big line, in the major lines, that how much money do you have in your bank by the end of 5 years from now. But you should have a static planning for that. You should plan for buying something for no more than the budget, and you should plan on not buying something else than the thing that you already proposed in your plan. So anyway, now we can answer the question. The saving that Jennifer have on the bank by the end of the third year is about $20,515. So, okay, I have a question here about double session. Yes, we do. We do have double session today. Okay, this is the end for the first session, meeting 10. I'll conclude it now if you have no other question. Oh, I just asked the same thing. Yes, we have double session today. Now, like I said again, thank you for watching this meeting number 10. For the students in my class, you should be re-online in 11:30. Okay, I'll make it at 11:15. I'll be online in 11:15 again for the final, not final, I mean the meeting number 11 for the second session for today's meeting. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you again in half an hour again. This is Joko Christian signing out.